Welcome to the Boss Ladies of Finance, where we help you get your money straight. I'm your fearless host, Sheneeza, and my assignment is to push you into destiny. Today, I'm so privileged to have these four dynamic kingdom financiers, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit more about your businesses.
Hello everyone, my name is Terry Ijeoma, and I'm an investor. I invest in stocks, ministry, and real estate. I love teaching people about investing in the stock market because it's really how you build wealth, and it changed my life. It allowed me to quit my job and start traveling around the world. So I'm an investor. My name is Terry.
Hey everybody, my name is Dr. Jessica Clements of Heart and Hustle Academy, and as well as my sister here, Miss Terry, I am an investor, and except for stocks, I invest in foreign currencies and indexes. And I have an academy where I teach students how to invest in foreign currency and teach them exactly how to maneuver in the markets. And I want to help as many people as possible do the exact same thing I did. And that was to make $30K in 30 days. And then I was able to also quit my job in the process of that. So I'm an investor as well as my sister here, and I want to help you.
I am Dr. Michelle Cochran. I help business owners communicate with their prospects and their clients using the platforms that will allow them to reach them, like customer resource management. I also build trust for business owners and individuals as well, so that they can maintain and retain all the wealth that they build.
1 minute. Gotta adjust my crown.
Uh-oh.
My name is Lori Goodman, and I am the CEO of A Partnership for a Better Tomorrow, and I am the Queen of Finance.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, today our topic is how to recession-proof your finances. I know, ladies, going into the beginning of this year, the markets were crazy. They were up, they were down, and to me, they were showing signs of maybe an upcoming recession. What do you think about that, Miss Terry?
Oh, I love this topic.
Okay, let's get ready to learn.
At the end of 2018, from October to December, the stock market lost about 20% of its value. And some people may not feel like they're affected by the stock market, but what happens when the stock market loses value is people start to see it in their 401ks, so their retirement goes away. And for people at home that are about to retire, that really impacts them, because that means now they're thinking about working for another 3 or 4 years. Like, it delays their retirement. But not only that, also companies don't have as much money because their money is tied in the stock market. So you see people now starting to get laid off, or you start seeing bonuses delayed. And so it just impacts our whole life when the stock market falls and also recession falls. But here's the thing. We saw the stock market get to all-time highs right before before those last 3 months of the year. And we're seeing that same thing happen now, where the stock market is starting to reach all-time highs again. So we need to be ready for if this happens again, because we're in a very similar place.
Right.
Wow. Well, let me ask you, ladies. I'm posed to you guys. So what does that look like? How do we prepare for anything, whether it's recession or not?
I'm going to punt it to my sisters first. I can always answer, but what do you guys think first?
Well, the Bible tells us that the Proverbs 31 woman was a businesswoman. That's what she was.
Amen.
Whenever you think about the scriptures, literally, like every single thing about her, she was working diligently with her hands. She's waking up early. She's staying up late. She did all these things because she was a businesswoman. And one of the things right now, the way our government is set up, we actually can receive tax benefits from being business owners. That was one of the main things that I would say that we can do to protect ourselves.
And also having cash, emergency funds, preparing for a rainy day, so my parents would say. But understanding that if the market crashes, what do you have? What kind of leverage do you have? What kind of cash do you have that can carry you until things get better?
And I can speak to what Miss Lori is saying. My mother-in-law, my husband's Russian, and so my mother-in-law, she lived during the time where the Soviet Union fell and began to, you saw all those countries restructure themselves. And she said literally all the banks were getting people to give their money by offering these high interest rates. And she said literally all of a sudden one day, you couldn't get your money out the bank.
Wow.
That was it. And then she said the currency just began to tank and fall. And so your money had no value. So she said back then the dollar was like gold because it was the only thing people would accept in the streets. And so I always would think she was strange because she always keeps $40,000 to $50,000 in cash. But she said, never again am I going to go hungry. My baby go hungry because I can't get that money out the bank.
Right.
Wow.
I want to say something about that because you just said something. You said she had her money in currency, and that's what I teach is investing in foreign currency. A lot of times, especially when we had the stock market issue going on last year, the DXY, which is our dollar strength index, was choppy. It was doing like up, down the entire time. And it's so, as well as like our euro, our Great Britain pound, our yen, and because they consider those safe haven currencies. So people are dumping immense amounts of cash into those currencies. So for me, if I was going to recession-proof my finances, I would invest in gold, which is a safe haven metal. I would, instead of actually the dollar, our dollar, I would invest in the yen because it has a little bit more value when it concerns our dollar, especially if our economy is going to decline. I would invest in another currency to hold my money until our DXY comes back on the incline, because we can get more bang for our buck if we invest in another currency. Like Great Britain pound is like $1.31 right now for a Great Britain pound versus a US dollar. So I'm going to get more bang if I get more Great Britain pounds compared to my dollar right now. So I would put my money over there just to hold it until our economy comes back up.
Now, and how do they do that? How do they get started? They don't have to actually buy the money. They can actually do it through the stock or through the forex exchange, right?
Exactly. There's a system that we tap into, and they call it the foreign exchange market. And you can download the app on your phone. You can look at it on an internet app anywhere, and they do it by currency correlations. So that's, like I said, there's a euro, but they say euro USD, Great Britain pound USD, or GBP, JPY. They break them down into one base currency and a quote currency. So they're telling you how much it is compared to one currency. So if you do it like that and you hold it over a period of time, like for instance, we had Christmas just come up, Thanksgiving, and what happened to gold around those times? It shot up. It went from $12.77 to I think it's $13.20 right now. And then we have Valentine's Day. Then we have all of these different holidays. Around those holidays, you start seeing silver, gold, copper, all of them rise because people are getting married, people are getting engaged, people are buying jewelry. So what we don't know is that we are to invest in those things, and then right when that season ends, pull your money back out of it.
Right.
Yes.
And see, that's why it's so important to be an active investor.
Right.
Yes.
If you just buy and hold, you don't get to see the returns on those kind of up and down swings.
Right.
But if you're actively in and out, you can trade during different seasons and see your return. And then I think too, I heard you say because of the volatility, that was actually good for a trader.
Right. So I was going to say that. So hold on. So
It
you're
is.
telling me volatility is good for you.
Right.
So you make money on volatility.
Up and down.
Yes.
All the time.
Did you know that you can make money in the stock market or any exchange market when the stock goes down? You actually make money faster a lot of times when stocks and currencies are going down.
I'm curious. So tell me.
Yes.
So how do you do that?
So it's called shorting, or you can do it. There's all different methods. But the thing is, if you're an investor and you've taken a class from one of us, we can teach you how to make money when the stock goes down. And because you can make money both when it goes up and goes down, you can make money all the time.
Right.
So so break it down to me. I know a lot of people like to bet on horses. So basically, let's say the company is a horse, and I'm betting it's gonna lose. Basically,
that's what you're doing. But so here's an example, a good example. So when you're shorting, it's basically like I sell you an iPhone for $1,000. Then I go on eBay and find the same phone for $600. Now I buy that phone for $600. I can pocket that $400
I
difference
see.
and still have
I
a phone.
see.
Right.
So you basically you're getting money on the difference between what you sold it
Right.
Wow.
and what you bought it back for.
Right.
Wow.
That's how you make money when the price goes down.
And I want to add something to what she said. It happens all the time in overbought conditions where you see a stock or you see a currency just shoot up out of nowhere. And you're like, why did it do that? It just went straight up. It didn't have any type of wave pattern in it. It just went straight up. And it's like, no, it's getting ready to fall because there's too many buyers in the market. And so what's going to happen because too many buyers are there, people are going to start selling it off. It's influencing
Wow.
people like the normal investor to buy because they're like, oh, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Let's buy. And what the market does is it reverses on you. So I wouldn't buy in a market like that when it's shooting straight up. I'm waiting for it to hit an area of resistance, then shorten it.
Okay, so what's that? Hold on, you using words.
Yeah.
So resistance. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Can I give an
Go
example?
get it.
When people think about the stock market, they think it's like this really, high, like you have to be really smart. It's somewhere out there.
Right.
But it's a market just like any other market. So if you all think about like the central market, like when you go and buy fruit, or you think about like when you go overseas and there's a cloth market or a fish market, it's really just a negotiation between buyers and sellers.
Right.
So like I'm African. So if I go to Nigeria and I'm buying cloth, you best believe I am not paying full price for that cloth. I'm going to ask for a price. As a buyer, I'm going to say, can I have it for this price? And then the seller's going to be like, no, it's this price. And you're just doing this negotiation between buyers and sellers. That's the exact same thing that's happening with us. If there's only like one piece of cloth, and we're talking about buyers and sellers. So let's say there's only one piece of cloth. That seller can demand any price they want because there's not very many buyers.
Wow.
But say all of a sudden there's a ton of cloth and not very many, so there's a lot of sellers, but not very many buyers. Now the sellers have to start bringing their price down to meet me because they want to sell to me. So that's what's happening when she says, oh, there's a lot of sellers up there and the price is going to start going down. When it gets too high, the sellers come out and start selling it back down. So it's supply and demand. It's buyers and sellers.
So if what I'm hearing is you can even make money in a recession trading.
Yes.
Ooh, okay now.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
This is like trade. Okay.
You excited? I know that's it.
So I heard a statistic that said like 90% of the most wealthiest people are invested in the stock market. But then some of the like people that aren't very wealthy, I think only like maybe 10-20% of us are invested in the stock market. But why is that? It's because the stock market builds wealth, and there are strategies to make money no matter what the world is looking like. There is a way to make money.
Like, I think she's talked about the horse for a moment. So can we like bet on the horse that the horse loses, and then bet for the horse that the horse wins as well?
Exactly.
At the
Yes.
same time? How would that work?
It's just clearly clicking a different button in the same system.
Right.
Wow.
Instead of like when I trade on my cell phone, so like this work like it's also a work from anywhere type of thing. You
Right.
can work from anywhere when you're trading. But on your cell phone, like I can put in an order. So let's pick a stock. Let's say Visa. I'm not a broker. Disclaimer. This is not advice. This is just an example.
Okay.
But
You got to say that. You got to say that.
so, like, let's say we were investing in Visa. I can put in an order to buy 10 shares of Visa and press buy. That's me betting on it to go up. Or I can put in an order to sell 10 shares of Visa and just press sell short. It's like literally a different button that's betting on it to go down.
Correct.
That's literally all you do. It's
So no matter
two
what,
different buttons, and you
you're
can
gonna
just bet either way.
Correct.
Hedging bet.
And I don't want to say bet because that makes it sound like gambling.
Right.
And a myth is that trading in the stock market is gambling.
I like that. That's
But it's
good.
not,
That's good.
because we can teach you how to read a chart and how to make high probability trades. I can
That's
also
good.
teach you how to manage your risk.
That's
Right.
And
good.
if you know what your risk is ahead of time, then it's no longer a gamble because
That's
you know
good.
exactly how much you stand to lose and
Right.
how much you stand to win.
Correct.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
what you guys are saying is great. But let's give the people, what are some other practical things you can do to protect yourself?
I think that one of the things that you can do is actually save 6 to 9 months of your salary.
Right.
You have to have a safety net, and that's one thing that people don't have. So when things happen, that's when they start abusing credit cards. You know, you want to make sure that you have money on hand to take care of all of your mortgage payments, your car notes, at least 6 to 9 months until things get better for you.
Wow. So let me ask you ladies a question. So I know you can trade gold and silver on an exchange.
Right.
Is it valuable to actually hold the physical gold and silver? What would you recommend?
I have friends, and they actually do have gold that they hold over time. But the thing is, even if you hold it, it still fluctuates in value. It's never going to go past a certain amount, like I talked about earlier, supply and demand. It's never going to go past a certain amount of resistance or where it's capping off at, and it's never going to fall below a certain amount. So I recommend, if you have it, especially if it gets to a high price, just go ahead and sell it off. That's what I personally recommend. If it gets to a low price, hold on to it, because the price is going to go back up again eventually. You just have to hold on to it for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. And you asked us earlier, are there other ways to make money?
Yes.
So the only asset that I really like to hold is real estate.
That's one of them.
So
That's
like
good.
I'll invest in a rental property, or I'll invest in my own home, and then that's an asset that I feel like will appreciate over time.
Yes.
And it's not a guarantee, just like nothing is a guarantee, but that's a good asset that I think is worth holding.
Right.
If you're investing in a different asset, what is it in the Bible? Like most things will pass away, like silver and gold, like and all of that stuff will pass away, it will rust.
Yes.
So I feel like those are things you don't necessarily have to hold tangibly, especially if you can trade them for cheaper in the market. Like it costs
That's
her
good.
less to buy shares.
Gold.
Yeah.
I can buy gold for less than, if I was trading it in the foreign exchange market, because it's so highly leveraged, I could take a 10-cent trade and trade gold and still make a profit off of it. If it moved 100 times, I've made $10 off that trade just using a 10-cent trade, and it's very small. So I'd rather trade it like that, make $10 off 10 cents, rather than going and buying $1,200, $1,300 bar of gold. It
And
just
now
makes
have to
more
lug
sense
it
to me.
around from place to place.
So
It's
I have a
heavy.
question. I'm just so excited. How long would it take somebody who has no knowledge to learn the skills that you two wonderful ladies have? I know that it varies, but say somebody like me that has no clue.
So in my class, I take people from beginner to intermediate in 60 days.
Oh.
And I actually have them start trading after the first 2 weeks, but they're like earning while they learn.
Okay.
So you can start even with a simulated account. That's where you like trade with fake money.
Okay.
And I can teach you, but I would say it takes about, give it 60 days, which is really a short amount of time. 60 days to learn it, and then give yourself about a year to practice.
Okay.
So for anybody, I would say you could do this as a side hustle. Like keep your real job, practice and begin learning and making money on the side. And then once it starts getting bigger, then you can have options whether to stay in that job or tell them deuces and go around like I did. You know, like that's about the time frame.
And I have a student, to piggyback back off what she said, pretty much it's the same time frame with me.
Okay.
And because we pretty much teach very similar things, the same market structure, it's just we're trading different instruments.
Right.
I have a student, and he was with me and was just flunking, trying to learn foreign exchange. And he came, he said, I have $500, I want to start trading. And I said, okay, well, I don't recommend you start trading your real money. He wasn't obedient, so I give him that. But he started trading. He started trading his own money after about 2 weeks. That by the end of that month, he had made his $500 into $21,000 in 1 week's time. And that's because he's like, I want to learn this. So it really, if you, like she said, you can learn and earn.
Right.
And if you have the right teacher, she's a great teacher. I'm a great teacher too.
That's right.
You have the right teacher to teach you the skill set and teach you risk management. That's a big
That's it.
thing.
Yes.
Risk management, because you don't want to lose money that you can't afford to lose.
Absolutely.
Teaching you risk management, anybody can do it, but babies can do it.
So define that risk management.
So risk management, I like pictures. Y'all can tell I like images.
Yes.
So just imagine that you're putting water into a bucket, but it has holes in it. So as you're trying to trade, your money is falling out. That's when you don't manage your trade right. But if you have risk management, what that looks like is managing the quantity size of how many shares you trade at a time, putting in stops. So there's a way to put in actual orders to get you out of a trade if it goes against you. You can manage when you get in, making sure that you don't get in at levels that are too high, and that you actually get in and price the trade right. So all of those things are like managing your risk on the front side before you even start trading it, and that way you save your money and don't lose a lot of money.
So almost like you can put in boundaries for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Right.
It's amazing what you can do with investing. It really is. And so many people just don't understand.
They're scared.
They scared. Yeah.
Because they're looking at the financial part of it, and I tell people all the time they push away from like, oh, I don't have a lot of money, and I'm like, you can paper trade, you can at least demo it out before you say it's not for me. And then once you learn risk management, I have a calculation that I teach my students where you only risking 1 to 2% of your entire account balance. You only blow an account or you only lose your money when you risk more than that. So you have to use that calculation, make sure and with her, she's buying shares, I'm doing lot sizes. You have to make sure your lot sizes are comparable to your stop losses and your take profits, so that when you come out of the trade, you're on the top rather than in the negative.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I feel like we have like taken over the show with
You did.
investing, but there are some other options. Did you want to hear other ideas for how to like?
Please.
So like I have like 6 streams of income, and so I want to like pub some streams and then like let y'all also talk about some streams. But like Airbnb is great, like renting out your home. You can do Uber. I found somebody real estate. I found somebody who's making money charging those scooter bikes. Did y'all know you can make money on that? Like just find something that you can do in your spare time to make you some extra income, because I feel like you're not gonna have real freedom unless you have some multiple streams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Any others that we're missing?
I want to say freelancing. I know that is a new thing where people are making additional incomes, because you have so many different websites like Fiverr, where you can sub out your skills and make money. And
Flyer, everything.
yeah.
At the discounted rate.
Yes.
And consulting,
Right.
Because people will pay for your knowledge.
Yes.
As she's not just an investor. She does real estate. I'm not just a forex person. I do other things.
Right.
And like I know how to manage credit things. So people will pay me. Like, what do you think? You think I can get an approval based on my credit profile? And I'm like, well, let me see it.
Right.
And then I would charge them for my time just to look at
Absolutely.
it. So you can charge for consulting,
Yeah.
and and it's small, but it's still extra income,
Right.
gas, car insurance, whatever.
Dr. Michelle, you do this too, right? You help people kind of monetize their expertise.
Absolutely. And I've had clients who were all over the place. They're very, very personable people. So they get along with everyone. They're the life of the party, you know. But being able to speak to someone and finding out what are you an expert in? I believe that everyone has an area of expertise.
Right.
You have something that you can shine all day. Find that area and be able to monetize it using things like Fiverr. You can be on the other side of Fiverr if you want to, but there's two sides of it.
Right.
You can be one of the experts delivering the service, or you can request the services. So find your part in that. And make some money there. But another thing that I think that, again, just like investing, and our community as people of color, we're not used to hearing about insurances and how they can pay out now. Insurance can pay you out now. You don't have to be dead to get you do not have to be dead to cash out on your insurance. There are different types of insurances that you can actually have and get paid off on now. Some of them are living benefit insurances where you would actually have to have maybe blindness or sickness or broken bones, things like that, you know. But there are some other policies that you can actually cash out whenever you get ready to cash out on them. So you can do those things. And because it's insurance, there's a tax shelter. You know that? You don't have to pay taxes on it. So it's great.
Wow.
It's wonderful. And
Yeah,
Pause her.
right.
Thank you.
Tell us more about this.
yeah, Yeah. So there are several different types of insurances. So one of the we're used to hearing death insurance when it's time for grandma to die, and we collect the death insurance. But there's also living benefits. So there are, I think, about 23 what they call triggers for those, and they will pay out. So you may be on crutches, you might be in a wheelchair, but you're making $2,300 a month in a wheelchair. You can,
Wow.
So
I love it.
Is it true the younger you are, the better?
most instances, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you can do those kinds of things. And actually, I'm in the process. I have 13 nieces and nephews. So I'm in the process.
Yes.
Because I want to, and I sat down and talked to some of them who are old enough so I can communicate with. What are some things that you want? What are some things that you would like to have by the time you get done with college? I want to be able to give them at least $3,000 a month whenever they're 25.
Wow.
20. Okay, I didn't get that.
That's 13 times 3,000.
I know. Can you adopt me?
But that's something that I wish that I had when I was leaving family.
Yes.
Something I wish I had. I would have been able to have a totally different life.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And the cost, the monthly cost, is about $75.
Wow.
Come on, TT.
Yeah.
Come on, TT.
That's right.
Those
I
kinds of
love
things that we
it.
can do for our loved ones.
Yes.
And they don't have to be, your flesh and blood. Get the information. You might have godchildren. Those kinds of things as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
See?
Come through, TT.
Now, I know you wanted to prophesy, though. Tell us what's on your heart, Ms. Sheneeza.
Yes.
The Lord had been dealing with me the last few weeks. And one of the things he was sharing with me was that he brought me back to the days of Joseph. And he was saying, Sheneeza, you guys are in the last years of plenty while we see all this volatility in the market. And he was saying, just like with Joseph, I need my people to become producers. Because why was Joseph bathed in opulence? He was a producer. He had a commodity that the earth needed. And so he was saying, so what the Lord was saying to me is, Sheneeza, I'm getting ready to bless my people. Just like the word of God says, it rains on the unrighteous and the righteous. Right. God was saying right now, blessings is getting ready to flow into the earth.
Wow.
I mean, wealth is getting ready. A dimension of wealth his people has never seen is coming to them. But he was saying, don't tell them to not spend a seed to take it and become producers. So somebody's supposed to own an airline. Right. Somebody's gonna go to India and buy a factory. Right. Somebody's gonna go to Panama and buy 100 acres and go coffee beans. What the Lord was saying, my people need to go back to becoming producers so the world can come to you.
Yes.
They come to you for the flight. They come to you for the car.
And it's not that we won't have any trials or tribulations, because Joseph had a lot.
Yes.
But God still brought him and blessed him, even in that.
Right.
And showed him to be like a ruler over all the harvest.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Do what you love.
That's it.
A lot of times, you will harvest.
Where your heart is, there's your treasure.
Yes.
Ladies,
Absolutely.
this has been amazing. I want to thank you. Thank you for this time. We have learned so much, guys. Yeah. We'll be back soon. You be blessed.
Thank you for watching the Queen Esther Connections Talk Show. If you would like to become a sponsor, network partner, order products, or advertise, call 888-604-4711 or visit our website, queenestherconnectionsnetworks.com.